Can former President Goodluck Jonathan run again? The Supreme Court has already said no president or governor can exceed 8 years in office. No matter how they got there, Jonathan, you recall, served from May 2010 to 2015, over 5 years in total. If it takes another 4, that pushes him beyond the constitutional ceiling. But here is the clincher. The 2018 Constitutional Amendment, Section 137 sub 3, it states clearly, if you complete another person's term, you can only seek one term, or one more term. Jonathan already did that in 2011, which means, legally speaking, his 2027 bid may be barred. The politics may continue, but constitutionally, the case looks closed and shut against him.
Welcome to Chinick TV. Nigeria's 2027 race just got hotter and stranger. The presidency has fired a long, emotional statement at former President Goodluck Jonathan. They said he is welcome to run, but the courts will decide if he is even eligible, and Nigerians will remind him of his disastrous 6 years. So, is APC simply confident, or is Tinubu quietly afraid of Jonathan's possible comeback? Today, we break it down. Stay with us. Let's begin today's analysis with the bombshell statement. Bayo Onanuga, special advisor to President Tinubu, didn't mince words. He called Jonathan's administration a disaster that ruined Nigeria's economy. He said Jonathan will face the courtroom first, not the campaign ground, because the constitution bars anyone sworn in twice as president from contesting again. He warned Jonathan to beware of PDP cheerleader who betrayed him in 2015 and would abandon him again. He painted Tinubu as the reformer who fixed the economy Jonathan broke. Yet, in the same statement, Onanuga admitted President Tinubu will wholeheartedly welcome him if he decides to enter the race. This doublespeak is suspicious. Why welcome Jonathan with one hand and destroy him with the other? Now let's see the legal trap. At the heart of this controversy is the constitution. Jonathan became president in 2010 after Yar'Adua's death. He was then elected in 2011 and sworn in again. That makes 2 oaths of office. Section 137 subsection 3 of the Constitution, inserted after the 2015 amendment, clearly stated, a person who has been sworn in as president to complete the term of another person and has subsequently been elected to the office of the president shall not be sworn into such office more than twice. Meaning Jonathan cannot legally serve a 3rd term. But here is the twist. Some lawyers argue that since the amendment came after Jonathan's time, it doesn't apply retroactively. So, if Jonathan dares to run, the courts, not the ballot, will be his first battlefield, and APC has already laid the groundwork. Jonathan will have his date in courts. Let's see the political fear. Now let's ask, why so much energy over a man who hasn't even declared? Because Jonathan still carries political weight. In the South, he remains a beloved son, a symbol of the Niger Delta struggle, and a unifying figure. In the Middle Belt and some Christian parts of the North, his image of gentlemanly leadership still resonates. And among Nigerians tired of Tinubu versus Atiku versus Obi, Jonathan could appear as a fresh consensus candidate. Imagine if PDP fractures again, and Jonathan emerged as a compromise between Atiku's camp and Southern leaders. That would shake APC. Tinubu knows this. That's why they are trying to destroy Jonathan's reputation before he even decides. Now let's see the economic war. APC is also playing the economic card. They accuse Jonathan of squandering oil boom revenues, depleting foreign reserves from $66 billion in 2010 to $30 billion in 2015, failing to pay civil servants by 2014, presiding over Dasuki's arms fund scandal, and they contrast that with Tinubu's achievements: subsidy removal, exchange rate reforms, GDP growth of 4.23% in 2025 second quarter, inflation down to 20.12%, reserves at $42 billion. But here is the debate. Many Nigerians remember Jonathan's era as one of cheaper fuel, cheaper food, and less insecurity. They compare that to Tinubu's Nigeria, where poverty deepened, prices skyrocketed, and insecurity worsened before any gains were claimed. So APC's narrative, Jonathan broke it, Tinubu fixed it, may not convince anyone. For many ordinary Nigerians, life feels worse today. Let's see the hypocrisy. Here is where it gets interesting. If Tinubu's camp really believes Jonathan is finished, why waste 5 long paragraphs quoting Shakespeare, attacking his memory, and dragging Jerry Ghana? The truth, they fear the symbolism of Jonathan's name. This was the same man they mocked in 2015 as clueless. But today, his possible return is enough to shake the presidency into panic mode. If Jonathan was truly irrelevant, APC would ignore him. Instead, they are setting up cuts, propaganda, and ridicule in advance. Let's see the bigger picture. This fight isn't really about Jonathan alone. It is about 2027 coalitions. PDP may use Jonathan to block Atiku and negotiate southern interests. APC wants to neutralize Jonathan so that Tinubu faces a divided opposition. The Labour Party and Obi camp are watching carefully because a Jonathan candidacy could cut into their southern votes. This is why APC is both welcoming and warning Jonathan. Welcoming to look democratic, warning to scare him away. In conclusion, so, is APC afraid of Jonathan? The evidence speaks. They say, run if you want, but the courts will stop you. They say, you are welcome, but you destroyed Nigeria. They say, Tinubu has fixed what you ruined. This is not confidence. This is insecurity disguised as boldness. And that leaves us with the big question. Will Jonathan dare to test the system in 2027? Will the courts block him? Or will Nigerians get to decide? And is APC attacking him because they fear his return? Or because they want to bury his legacy once and for all? Let's know what you think in the comments. Is Jonathan still a threat or just a ghost of the past? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Chinick TV, your home for fearless political analysis.
To the question, can former President Goodluck Jonathan run again? The Supreme Court has already said no president or governor can exceed 8 years in office. No matter how they got there, Jonathan, you recall, served from May 2010 to 2015, over 5 years in total. If it takes another 4, that pushes him beyond the constitutional ceiling. But here is the clincher. The 2018 Constitutional Amendment, Section 137 sub 3, it states clearly, if you complete another person's term, you can only seek one term, or one more term. Jonathan already did that in 2011, which means, legally speaking, his 2027 bid may be barred. The politics may continue, but constitutionally, the case looks closed and shut against him. Well, you look at, can the president or governor serve beyond 8 years? The Supreme Court ruling in Marawa versus Yago in 2012 said maximum of the tenure of equal to 8 years in total. The time spent in office counts, even if from succession, e.g., VP or deputy governor taking over. No day longer than 8 years cumulative. In the Jonathan's case, for example, you find that it served between May 2010 to May 2015, 5 years, 23 days. Another 4-year term will equal 9 years plus in office, which is it unconstitutional? Well, the FCT High Court in 2013 cleared him to contest then, but the Supreme Court refused the case in 2014, it ran in 2015. But in 2018, Constitutional Amendment closes the window. And perhaps some people may not even be aware that then President Buhari had signed this portion into law, which makes this case, in fact, a more sealed case and shut out against persons that may be in this scenario or that have been affected by similar scenario. Now, the 2018 amendment, let me give you an understanding. So there are the relevant sections as it affects the president or the governor's seats. 137 and 182. 137 sub 3, 182 sub 2. Now, the breakdown of it is in this form. If anyone is sworn in to complete another term, can contest only once more. Applies to presidents and governors. Means Jonathan already used his one chance 2011 election. Legally barred from contesting again in 2027. It's a political cause versus constitutional reality.